old cowboy Jim. This might be my third or fourth maybe. Um, in your world, your life, your circumstance, you will find yourself confronted with people who are real good, real kind, or are by their very nature abusers. And you have many choices in how you can handle working under the influence um, in a situation uh, that only can be sorted out by you yourself. And you will source as much information as you can. I pray to each their own. And you probably will decide whether you continue to live, especially in a work situation, but it can also be in marriage as well, relationships, friendships, and you will establish the value of you continuing to work under a heavy thumb, or you will opt out. I have spent many years always self employed. I think I had my first business when I was 17. And I have studied people forever and a day since then. And in my present job, I work for an amazing company. I strongly recommend. I remember working, that's Negan Tuckaroo. I have some of the best supervisors, two in particular. And then further up the line, I have some of the best supervisors that I've ever known. And when they speak with you and to you, it is with respect. Dear Lord, it's time to wake up. Sorry about that. Set the alarm. That's good. My supervisors, they uh, show respect and honor for their company, for themselves, and for their employees. I worked one time, I worked one time for a supervisor who was an abuser. And it seemed to me like he kind of unduly picked on me. I, I never have allowed myself to work without doing the best that I could in every sense, in every instance, because a company pays you $1 for an honest day's work. And my mother taught me to give my employee, and actually my employer honor and respect. But I have had occasion to work for um, one or two supervisors over the years, and they lacked self confidence. They covered that with bravado and seemed to have the world by the tail. But the truth, they're very insecure. And in their insecurity, they ripped people apart and spoke with total disrespect. And one of the joys of that is you don't have to defend yourself because your coworkers will see it. They'll know it. They will recognize it. But there does come a time um, wherein you must needs say it as it is. And I remember some time ago, and I had one of these supervisors who was perfect, and no one could run anything better than him, and he was always willing to tell you. But it was always with the backdrop of you're a failure because you can't run anything as good as I can. And I think about that, and I think that's not that's not the way that God does things. I've I've studied Scripture for years. I studied the Messiah, Jesus, the Son of the Living God. I've studied God. I've studied His Word. They don't put you down in order to make themselves feel better. It's always that a caring person will reach out and build someone up, lift them, encourage them, tell them, look, I've had employees for many years, and I always tried, okay, it doesn't mean I succeeded, but I always tried to encourage them, to build them up, to make it so that instead of going to work saying, oh God, I have to go through this. I'm a rancher, and I'm not going to say what I was going to say because, oh well, I have a lot of kids watching my stuff now. So I'll be careful. But I used to say to the Lord, help me make it through this torment. And I remember back in the days when I had a heart condition and I would end up with angina. I mean, I I'm not one to micromanage. I'm one to say this is what we have to do. Right now I have two supervisors, and and they and and they explain what they want me to do, and if they explain it, and I am honest enough to tell them, look, I don't understand yet, or I do understand. I, through God, I can do all things because he's the one that strengtheneth me. But if you're in a situation or marriage and you are with an abuser, I don't recommend divorce. I think back, I've been married 3 times. I may well have divorced the first one, but not the next two. I didn't want to end those things, and yet I knew the benefit of them ending them for me. And that's kind of like where you can be with an abuser. You are entitled, simply by being a human, to live your life according to your standards. You have that right. The right to be happy, the right not to be ashamed or condemned, but you have the right, the joy of loving, respecting, honoring your employer, your creator, if you choose to believe in them, your family, if they were as hard working people. My dad was a hard working man, taught me a lot. Stonemason, carpentry, handling horses, driving a team. Oh, no idea. But if you're in a place where you're under the thumb of an abuser, you have to quantify the benefit of staying there and or leaving. I go to work, and as I said, I have two supervisors, and I'm almost convinced that they can walk on water as I can, but I can only do it at minus 50. If it's been at minus 50 long enough to carry my weight on the ice. My heart goes out to those ladies who find themselves under the thumb of an abuser. I encourage you strongly, get some counseling. Don't put up with that. That's not the way. That's not the way you're supposed to live. Don't live in fear, but recognize a dangerous situation if you're in that sort of abuser situation. I believe the most important thing that you can do is wake up in the morning, thank God for the privilege of another day, look forward to going to work with people who show respect and honor, co-workers who are considerate, kind, not abusers, and enjoy yourself. Um, do the best you can. Don't ever cheat. Never. My mom used to tell me, when you cheat, you're cheating yourself. Don't cheat yourself, but do not take crap from people who are abusers. If you're a kid and you're being abused at school, you go to the principal, you go to the teacher, you go to your parents, you tell them what is going on. Don't don't you let people abuse you. I've been there. It's not good. It's not good when people bully you because they can. It's so funny. Inadequate, insecure feeling people turn out to be bullies. What a waste. Be happy. Truly be happy. God bless you. It'll be interesting to know what to call this one. Thanks.